ARK's most anticipated mod map by Fjorda creator Nakatus has arrived, and with it an ambitious Greek-themed setting planned to cover 264 square kilometers, rich, full of majestic sceneries, iconic ruins and temples, and mountainous scaling adventures awaiting new enemies and bosses to become a Grecian warrior. In this guide, we'll cover each spawn locations and nearby points of interest to ready you on your feet, every resource and their locations, every cave and ruin base location, the variety of loot obtainable, artifact locations, and what to expect from the introductory difficulty scaling Medussa boss. But before even starting on Astraeos for the best experience, you'll want to host this on a server, and with a handy discount link in the description, can set you up with one to cover crossplay support for both PC, Xbox and PS5 players together on the same map for a term of your choosing, and simply search within the handy CurseForge mod side panel to find Astraeos, following with heading to your general setting and typing Astraeos WP within the custom map name will get you started. With a wide variety of configurations to customize to your style of play, noting your server name chosen and ideal password at the very least will get your server up and running to find via unofficial servers in the join game menu, landing you in with a variety of spawns to choose from, but which one to choose depends on what you'll be aiming for. Almost identical to the world map layout of Greece, will find 5 spawns available on Corinthos Island, though the term island is a bit of a stretch, with an incredible landmass available at launch, taking roughly 15% of the map's planned content, arriving later this year in a planned premium version, of which you'll be able to carry your saves over to. Adventure seekers will most definitely want to begin at Corinthos Southeast, offering easy spawns of dodos, dilos and trikes as you begin to scale the climb of Olympus, offering metal, obsidian and crystal along the route uphill. Allowing a few picks to build your first base, a variety of outstretched land ends to work with, a convenient shantytown to occupy, or a gorgeous offset island with a giant ruin to occupy and only one narrow bridge walkway to access. Corinthos Southwest offers a similar deal, starting at the shallow shores to climb once again, however, finding more Brontos and Ankies this end, and again several flat outstretched areas to build, as well as a small cavern to take shelter in on your ascent uphill. Adjoining these two spawns, however, will find an abandoned bay, not only teasing the ships you too can build, but 2 strongholds filled with a variety of boxes to break for metal tools and offer a boosted start to bypass stone tier. With a convenient cave full of crystal through the southeast mountain to occupy, the south is perhaps the most recommended for single player or PvE, but Corinthos East offers by far the best start for resources and location. Spawning here will find rotting sharks littering the beach, brimming with early game oil, spoiled meat and hide, with a generous amount of crystal, metal and obsidian within reach, as well as silica pearl filled clams very close by the bay you'll want to work around to perhaps the most picturesque location. Whilst there is a close ruin to occupy, the bay follows around to a sizable cliff end, occupying a temple to start in, needing only one gate to set you off, boasting an aesthetic location to consider a dock for your planned Greek ship builds, and one of the closest spawns to the obelisk. Corinthos West offers a slight increase in difficulty with larger carnivores just around the corner, but as well as more rotting, washed up resources, offers the most versatile spawn to venture either south to find the Sakura tree decorated mountain, hiding away perhaps the best PvP location, a clear inland route to venture to the middle of the map with access to some great base locations as well as the obelisk, and a north route to find even more fantastic base locations such as temples, more ruins and pirate themed coves. Though spawning northwest can find the same locations in quicker access, as well as the steep climb to occupy the feet of Zeus himself, or venture around the north to find a spacious cave filled with pearls, as well as the swamp region for your Rhinonathas or Dino Deinosuchus. Of which, region-wise, whilst there is a small swamp section filled with the spawns you'd come to expect, apart from a soft redwood region within the middle of the map, the majority seems to demand jungle and grassland spawns, at least offering increased locations for creatures such as Gigantoraptors, Rexes and Equus, but with no snow biome currently means go-to powerhouses such as Utes and Mammoths won't be found anywhere, needing some creativity in your planned runners for boss progression. To progress anywhere though, you'll want to occupy a space to build, and Astraeos is brimming with a wide variety of locations to build. In fact, so many cliff edges and mountaintop areas, there's too many to count, so we've compiled at least every cave and ruin location to choose your favourite spots.
So you've picked your base location, but it's nothing without the resources to build it, right? Well, on Astraeos, if looking for metal, crystal and obsidian, each are in absolute abundance all over the map. seriously, it would make more sense to offer coords on where not to find these resources. Naturally, the higher you go, the more you'll find with each, but there's plenty of other resources that aren't quite so generous, starting with oil. As mentioned earlier, can be found in small quantities by harvesting rotting, washed up sharks, but as well as spread throughout underwater all over, you'll find a good selection of high-yield oil rocks on a handful of mountain peaks. Silica pearls can be found in their known collectible form in at least 2 lake areas, but you'll do one better farming the more rewarding clams within their adopted cave at 2515.5. Clams that you'll find brimming almost every sea wall. With an anglerfish at hand, you'll never need another pearl again. Along with the traditional silica pearls, you'll find adjoining beaver dams ready for your cementing paste collection, which are in fact spread all over Corinthos, from locations right by the obelisk to a variety of rivers and pools heading to the bee cave. And that's right, despite beehives being found throughout the soft redwood region, where you'll find every single tree rewards a small amount of sap, there's one cave dedicated to that rich and wonderful honey, offering a chunk of mushrooms as well as organic poly with the right harvesting equipment. Most expansion map resources aren't available at the time of writing, but salt, if you plan to preserve anything, can be found from a couple of skeletal remains at either 33.6 11.5 or 30.2 12.4. In fact, the only resource you may struggle with most are black pearls, unobtainable by hand at launch but farmed in large quantities from Tuzos and their astral counterparts accompanying astral Moses, or the brave lunatics of you could farm Euryptrids found in the North Sea Artifact Cave, or more than likely will find you hunting down hundreds of trilobites for small quantities, but apparently farming a bucket load with a Diplocaulus can help. Speaking of creatures to farm for resources, don't forget your Meganora for paste using a Bezel Buffo, or simply taming an Achatina. With sheep for your pelt, and more than likely mutton can be found in a few locations to get breeding for some succulent slices of stacked hide. Once built up and ready, you'll want to face the very challenging, unique Medussa Guardian boss, but to do so, you're gonna need artifacts. Pretty simple to access once you know, with the massive artifact being the easiest to navigate with less requirements, though some knowledge of where each of the pedestals are within the cave to open the next door, with the last room of the old tomb needing 3 pedestals to activate, with 2 being in the rafters, so requiring ladders or grapples to gain the height needed to reach. Following to an underwater space, it's entirely possible to get in and out without scuba, just be mindful of the piranhas to clear out if on foot. The hunter can be found lurking within the Forgotten Temple, and a nice open space to navigate, though with spiders and bats ready to slow and inflict rabies, you may want to prepare a decent mount to navigate, especially when reaching the artifact at the end, guarded by some very angry Minotaur mini bosses. May need to kill first. Not tameable currently, these can be via commands though, and frankly a lot of fun if you want to, with a planned skin for these to apply to Ferox tames in the future. Finally, the last and more brutal cave will be a pleasant welcome to any sea cave runners before. Found in the sunken caverns through a few winding tunnels past an army of high-level megalodons, eels and sphincters, you'll find the clever, requiring at the very least some scuba and a fast or strong sea mount to get through to your reward. Throughout each, you'll find loot crates for that precious high-end gear, which seems to be very similar to what you'd expect from island loot drops, but with the added benefit of a higher density of red and yellow drops across the map for access. In fact, being a rare moment to not see at least one high-value beacon falling from the skies for a chance to nab a free indie cooker or forge. With one new loot resource offer delivered with the alpha variants of Corinthos, namely Astral Variants, much like their island counterparts, sporting a ghostly blue overtone, with each and every offering a range of blueprints from saddles to gear to even structures, so worth hunting any you find, and you're gonna need them. Because the Guardian of Corinthos is set to be one of the hardest map bosses you can face in ARK today. Awaiting within a brand new custom arena, we'll find the snake-haired Medussa inflicting massive damage, summoning bats, spiders and snakes, able to stun you off your mount, as well as a risk of contracting rabies. Doable on Gamma with a strong army of traditional boss creatures will find you rewarded with 140 element as well as a couple of basic techgrams. Beta scales it up to a real test without high-end saddles and gear, but rewarding a monstrous 300 element as well as more tech structures and tech boots. But Alpha, for at least a solo player, is seemingly impossible. Not only does damage in the thousands per tick, but boasts a whopping 1 million health pool, needing some combination of speed, power in player numbers, and a bit of luck, offering a real challenge for players to breed towards. But anyone brave enough to finish the Stone Cold Stunner gets a massive 600 element, as well as Tech Helmet, Tech Moser, and Tech Turret engrams. So good luck. Go out there, Astraeos, it's out. Have fun with it. Did you enjoy this guide? Please comment below. Let me know, because I might do another one for another map if you like this one. So until then, my name's Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, peace out.